Of course it's unconstitutional. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or visit our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. But let's talk about this. March 2020. Los Angeles County and Ventura County ordered gun stores to close to prevent the spread of COVID. Walmart's could have stayed open, Home Depot stayed open, CVS has stayed open, yes, but they decided that gun stores should be closed to prevent the spread of COVID.
Unconstitutional closures. A panel of federal judges says gun stores should have been allowed to stay open during the pandemic shutdown as essential businesses. Gun rights advocates are applauding this ruling. A victory for gun shop owners in LA and Ventura counties. A panel of judges from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that shutting down gun shops, along with bars, restaurants, and a multitude of other businesses, was unconstitutional.
It is a ruling that I think it's a correct ruling.
Jonathan Solomon and his wife own Redstone Firearms in Burbank, a training, consulting, and education firearms center.
When it came down to the pandemic and this non-essential, essential, that whole thing was kind of convoluted. During the main portion of the pandemic, it's absolutely important, and this is my opinion, that everyone has the right to protect themselves because we had some folks that were very desperate.
At the outset of the pandemic, LA and Ventura counties categorized gun shops as non-essential businesses, which is why they were not allowed to stay open. Gun rights groups like the NRA filed legal challenges and lost in the lower courts. This new decision has gun rights advocates praising the ruling.
Clearly, these both counties, Ventura and Los Angeles counties, violated their Second Amendment, the Second Amendment rights of the citizens there by closing the gun stores and denying them access to firearms during a critical period.
We are extremely pleased with the court's decision. You know, a constitutional guarantee that can be eliminated for weeks or months on end at any given time is really no guarantee at all.
Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson.
I think part of what this ruling shows is how important President Trump's nominees to the federal bench really are. This was a conservative decision. We have a 3-judge panel, 2 judges who are nominated by President Trump, 1 by President Reagan. And what we have here is the Ninth Circuit overturning lower court decisions that ruled in favor of the government, saying it is in fact okay to shut down non-essential places, including gun shops.
The decision could end up before the Supreme Court.
Hopefully, we're not constantly living under a pandemic and we don't have these questions that are continuously arising about states and local governments shutting down businesses, but it raises serious constitutional questions.
We reached out to the LA County Health Department and did not hear back. Ventura County Health told Reuters they were disappointed by the decision and are evaluating which steps to take next.
January 24, 2022, federal court stepped in and ruled that this was unconstitutional. Now, right here from the Daily Wire, article titled, Federal Court Rules California County's Lockdown of Gun Stores Were Unconstitutional. A federal court ruled that some California counties' lockdowns of gun stores violated the Second Amendment. No kidding. In March 2020, both Los Angeles County and Ventura County ordered gun stores to close their doors to prevent the spread of COVID. However, Judge Lawrence Van Dyke, writing on behalf of a 3-judge panel for the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, explained that the policies limited the right of the people to keep and bear arms, since the Second Amendment means nothing if the government can prohibit all persons from acquiring any firearm or ammunition. Under California's highly regulated framework for firearms, law-abiding citizens can only obtain firearms and ammunition by arriving in person to government-approved gun and ammunition shops, he wrote. These blanket prohibitions on access and practice clearly burden conduct protected by the Second Amendment and fall under both strict and intermediate scrutiny. The government's designation of essential businesses and activities reflects a government-imposed devaluation of Second Amendment conduct in relation to various other non-constitutionally protected activities during times of crisis, irrespective of any of the unique dangers presented by firearms, ammunition, or firing ranges, Van Dyke added. The National Rifle Association lauded the ruling. The court today rightfully recognized that Los Angeles County violated the Second Amendment rights when it shut down gun stores and ranges in the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, said NRA Office of Litigation Counsel Director Michael Jean. This is an important decision. It ensures that California or any state cannot use a crisis to trample on the constitutional rights of citizens. Beyond the Second Amendment, Los Angeles County cracked down on First Amendment rights through its lockdown policies, namely by stopping churches, communities from meeting together. However, Pastor John MacArthur's Grace Community Church eventually defied the regulation, meeting for Sunday worship without social distancing or mandatory masking. Now it goes further into this. The church, Grace Church, California, they actually won their lawsuit, which is a great win for the First Amendment. But locking down gun stores in a time of crisis is unconstitutional. But it shows that these counties were using the pandemic to prevent people from exercising a constitutional right. As I said before, Walmarts were open, Home Depots were open, CVS, Walmart, you go right across the board, big box stores that were open during the COVID-19 pandemic, yet they said the gun stores must close to prevent the spread. Because, once again, is the virus smart enough to know the difference between Home Depot and a gun store? Just as it knows the difference between 6 feet and 6'1"? I'm not making any claims about the virus. I'm just pointing out a fact. Locking down these gun stores was basically a move to prohibit people from exercising a constitutional right. And of course, it is so clearly unconstitutional that it just goes without saying. But this judge also stated, because it was a 3-panel judge on the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court, in another article stated that if the full court was in session, which I believe is 9 people, he said that this lockdown would have been upheld, which is eerily disturbing as to why that is. But we got a win here, and a big win, because this, once again, California, to me, for me personally, just my opinion, California is a petri dish for all insanity. It starts in California, then it spreads east across the country. So if this had taken root, other states could have easily have stepped in and done the same thing. Now, at the time when this happened, then President Trump was in office, and he federally deemed that gun stores were essential businesses and could not be closed, even though despite the fact that both these 2 counties in California did this. Just remember, a judge said it was only a 3-panel judge decision. It was a 3-panel judge, and they made the decision based on it in the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. As the same judge who wrote the opinion, Lawrence Van Dyke, stated, if all 9 of us were here, this will probably be upheld, which is very, very worrisome. But once again, we got ourselves a win here, and unfortunately, I don't know what was happening from March 20th on when they put this lockdown on gun stores in place. But let's put the W in our column and move on. Okay? But let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the comments section below. As always, any comments to violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time a video goes live. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.